Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This store is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Get signed up for their email distribution list to find out when the store will be opening, what their hours will be, and most importantly, what they will have in inventory at abvbarrelshop.com. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebartogo.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show. Oh, we have a classic here. This is one that if you listen to the Bourbon Daily, and maybe you're a new listener, you wonder why we always talk about Danny and a 9-ounce shot and, or sleeping on the litter box. And this is like the first of a two-parter. So this is the one I like to say where Danny lights the fuse. And I knew this was happening when it was going down. And you listen to this, no one goaded Danny into this. Nate a little bit was like, do it. But Danny was the one to throw the idea out there of drinking this 9-ounce. He had a Texas shot glass, which ends up being 9 ounces. We measured it later. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was a bad deal because it was like 112 proof bourbon or something like that. And doing 9 ounces of that. And to Danny's credit, by the way, he just threw it down. Like he didn't like pause or anything. He just opened up down the hatch and did the whole shot. Amazing. And and he's really fine the rest of the show, but everything's in place. You know at some point it's going to go downhill, and that's where we're going to hear tomorrow the aftermath of this. And you actually hear the point when he crashes and burns. So there you go. Here's the show where he lights the fuse. Danny drinks a 9-ounce shot.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss whether or not whiskey stones are the dumbest whiskey gift ever. My name is Mr.
We are at holiday gift giving season.
Please join me welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Nate Weinegar, Danny Kennard, and Jim Fosnot.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hello. So we've got an interesting show today. We're not going to spoil it. We're not going to talk about whiskey stones right now. That's the show. So we'll get to that after the break. For right now, Miss Becca Sue said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that?
So since we're talking about dumb things, Royce and I had a drive down to Gatlinburg, and we listen to podcasts when we're driving, and we often like to listen to Criminal, and we listened to one about Sealand.
Yeah.
Sealand. So Sealand is a micronation off of the UK.
Okay.
And the way it started was Rob Bates was a radio pirate, and so they would be playing music towards the UK because you could only play like classical music and you couldn't listen to the Beatles or like anything else that was cool. And so these radio pirates would go out on old World War II like what were like just like gun
platform.
Yeah, gun platforms out in the ocean, and they would project radio waves back so people could listen to music. So they were pirates, and one of them, Rob Bates, ended up he left one of his stations and went to a new one that was kind of a big flat area, and they decided that they would turn it into a nation. And so him and his family literally were defending this nation. They would shoot at people all the time that would try and take it over. The Germans were after them, like landing a helicopter on it, trying to kick them off their own little nation. I wonder if anyone has ever heard of something so absurd, or if you would ever try to take over your own. And like, this is a very small platform, by the way. This is like no bigger. It's not even as big as our house, which our house is large, but it is still not even as big as this place is.
40 by 80 platform.
Yeah, it's a 40 by 80 platform is how big this is. Would you guys ever want to start your own nation, which all you have to do is be recognized or be able to talk to another government, have a population? What's the other one?
Have a defined area.
And have a defined area. That's all you need for your own nation. So, would you guys start your own nation, have your own currency, have your own passports?
I'm getting close to that now. I think Roy could probably join me the way things are going right now in the country. I have seen another story about it was like an oil platform or something like that they turned into their own nation and they docked things onto it. So I did see something. I don't know where that was at, but I saw that happen somewhere else. But
probably Texas. That seems to be where most of that stuff happens.
And
I'm getting pretty close. I'm almost there. And I think I could get Royce to join me. We could probably defend it.
Okay. I mean, we talk about, this stuff, doesn't happen. Well, back in the old days, sure, it happened. That's how, everything was defined and stuff like that. I mean, you look at Key West history, how many times that changed hands by someone planting a flag on the beach and being like, this is now owned by Spain or this is owned by the U.S. or whatever it was. Commonplace. But would I do something like that now? No, nah. I don't have the time.
We listened to this entire thing about this.
I got too many podcasts I got to put on. Yeah.
About Rob Bates and the bullshit he was putting him and his family through. His son was locked. The Germans locked him in a room for 4 days straight as a captive on their own little island, trying to make him give up the fort. Right. And they'd have no water. They wouldn't have anything out there for days because they didn't have much. I mean, you got to wait for someone to bring you stuff. And it's just the amount of bullshit just to be recognized as a nation for no real purpose. The Bates had no real reason to do this other than to be a pain in the ass to, actually, I guess maybe I do agree with the fact they're just trying to be a pain in the ass to the government. So I guess in that sense, I do support it.
Yeah. I don't know where do you do this in international waters? I mean,
there is a micronation between Arizona and California.
But because they say they are
based off of cookie dough.
Because they say they are. That doesn't mean. Remember, Key West at one point created its own nation. But in reality, I mean, I could create my own nation here in Lakeview Park Circle where I live. But
you have to be recognized by other countries.
Well, I mean, there's easy ways to do that.
That goes into it, Steve.
Let me ask you this. If you become your own country, then you have to keep paying property taxes to the United States?
Sure. Yeah.
Now, if you're your own country, don't.
You're not your own country then.
Exactly, because you're not your own country. This is the same thing. If you listen to the talk shows, we're like, I haven't paid taxes for 15 years. There's a thing in the tax code that you don't actually have to pay it. It's all voluntary. No, bullshit. And again, sometimes people can get away with this stuff for a little while if they're not really bothering anything. You hear there's a couple of these going on in Texas where they've got enclosed areas. They don't ever leave them. They grow their own food, and the government kind of lays off them because it's bad PR to go in and take over where they've got kids and stuff like that. But in reality, if they want to come in at any time, you don't really have the rights to create your own nation. Whether or not you talk to Tunisia and they're like, yeah, you are a nation, it doesn't really actually matter. They'll come in, and if you're a pain in their side, they will take it over and stop that. But if you're not a pain in their side, sure, you can sit around and no one will bother you, and you can be your own nation if that's what you think you are.
Here's the
Way
thing.
to take all my joy and happiness out of my world, Steve.
Here's the thing with Sealand is it became such a thing that people were printing fake passports for it so they could get away with things like getting loans. And
it became a scam.
It became a scam artist thing because they were recognizing it as a real nation.
Right. And that's what that stuff's all about, right? Someone's getting rich off of it. Jim Baker, the former priest, he's got something going on in Missouri where he's creating his own nation. They got their own currency and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to be a part of that, go ahead. You're going to hang out with Jim Baker. Sounds like a great guy, right? This is the sort of people that want to start their own nation, is people like Jim Baker. And they've got their own food and stuff like that they've got put aside in case the government ever does come to try to take them over, and their own weapons and stuff. But
don't we as Americans do that already?
Yes.
Right. But can Freddie Mills start his own bourbon nation? I mean, that would be cool. I mean, wouldn't everybody want to join?
Sure. You should do that. And then don't tell the government you're not going to pay taxes. Mm-hmm. You're making bourbon and selling it, and see how long that nation lasts.
Like Ruby Ridge.
You're right. Right.
Waco.
Well, Nate probably can't weigh in on this. He works for the government, so.
I mean, I do have my own nation, though. I drank a bottle of Lefroy whiskey, and it told me that I got my own patch of land in Scotland, and I've turned that into my own country. So, yeah.
There you go.
Love it, man.
There you go.
Was that the show, though, Becca, that, wasn't there a movie about those guys that were the radio pirates or something like that I remember watching one time?
They're crazy. Like, they were, like, actually just, like, shooting at people all the time and throwing Molotov, or, what are they called? Molotov cocktails at people and stuff. I mean, like, they were, but I mean, all the government really had to do was just, like, blow them up if they wanted them gone.
The guy
Right.
He did. Rob Bates had a hot wife.
Somehow he got her.
And she stayed on a fucking platform out in the middle of the ocean.
Huh.
And they stayed there. It's still there. There's 27 people that on the population, and the whole thing started back in 1978.
Yeah.
Been there for a while.
Well, we got some of that in Missouri. Danny just visited Uranus, which isn't really an official city in Missouri, but some guy decided he bought a shopping center and said, "Hey, this is the city of Uranus." And there's billboards all over now. Have fun in Uranus. Come to Uranus.
Fudge shop.
There's a fudge shop there,
Yeah.
and they actually literally say, "Thank you for letting us pack your fudge in Uranus."
Yeah. So
if you buy fudge from there,
so this is what you end up when you allow people to create their own nations. You get people who make Uranus jokes, which is not bad. The guy's having some fun. He's marketing. Yes, but he makes it sound like it's a town, but in reality, it's just a shopping center. Really,
people having fun. Like, it is funny that when people decide to do their own thing, like one big boating company, whatever, like a research company, will put it out to the public to pick out what the new name of their boat was going to be, and people could submit different names. And the number one name that everyone was picking was Bodie McBoaterson. And so they went with option 2, which was like an actual good name. They're like, no, we're not.
We're not.
We know that we said you guys could pick.
Like a Navy ship.
But you guys named our boat Bodie McBoaterson, so we're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that. Yeah.
The general public will do the dumbest thing that they could do if they're given the option.
True.
That was like for the British Navy or something like that. It was like something official that wasn't for. I remember reading about
so
that.
they couldn't name it that.
There you go. All right. Well, it is now time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Nate. Nate, what do you got there, man?
I am going with the new High Plains Rye from Jim Rutledge today.
Okay. Very cool.
Oof.
There was a little bit of a cork pop there, more slosh than cork pop.
Spilled everywhere, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was very poor form. All right, Jim, you're next.
I'm going with some Booker's Bardstown's batch.
Okay.
I get it open.
That was good. That was actually very good. All right, that's our lead. Next up is going to be Danny. Danny, what do you got?
I have a loved bottle of Ezra Brooks Cast Strength.
Cast strength. Okay. Okay. Not enough. Jim has the lead. I'll go next. I've got Yellowstone here, just the regular Yellowstone. Nothing fancy. This is just the shelfy version. They're 93 proof. Here we go. Almost inaudible. Just absolutely terrible. Jim's got the lead, but Miss Becca Sue still has to go. What do you got, Becca?
I'm going by proof on all these, so I think this one is next. It's 104 proof. Flying Rye again from Neely Family Distillery.
Really good. Not quite as good as Jim's, though. So just not quite enough there. So show number 3, after she had the sweet stuff early on. How you feeling, Becca? Are you nauseous?
I do feel like a little bit more warm. I don't feel drunk. I just don't feel like I usually don't eat a lot of sweets, and so I don't know if it's just like.
Oh yeah. Stick around for episode 4, gang. She's gonna start hurling. Cheers, gang.
Yeah, I'm gonna start just puking my guts out on everything. It's gonna be horrendous.
Cheers.
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 Congrats to Jim on the big win there. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about whiskey stones. Is that the worst gift idea that there ever has been? We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot in the greater St. Louis area. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only focuses on single barrels. We aren't open just yet, but our plan is to have the most diverse single barrel offerings from our many friends in the world of bourbon. By signing up for a weekly email, you will know our entire inventory we have on hand. In addition to single barrels, we'll have a tasting bar and a gift shop featuring logo merchandise for both the shop and the ABV network, as well as a full curriculum of bourbon education classes. Additionally, we'll use the gift shop to feature products from our partners in the world of bourbon, companies like Art Eatable Chocolates and Old Man Bay Signs. Head over to ABV Barrel Shop to sign up for our email and text distribution list so you can stay in the know. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course, a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Hey, this is Paul Russo, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about, are whiskey stones dumb?
Yes. Are they dumb? So this is Whiskey Stones time of the year because, there's a lot of bourbon and whiskey fans out there. And then there's, whereas we're at holiday shopping season, people want to find something for them. We, as whiskey or bourbon fans, are tough to buy for those that aren't really into bourbon like we are. They don't know what we've drank, what we haven't, what we're interested in. Some of the things that we want might be too expensive. So they want to find us something that they feel is a little bit different that we don't have. And I think they fall trap or victim sometimes into buying these whiskey stones. They think, this is something kind of cool. It won't dilute your bourbon. You put them in the freezer and they chill down, and then you drop it in your drink and it doesn't dilute the bourbon. So I'm helping you with your enjoyment of whiskey. But is this the worst idea ever? Nate, do you love these things?
You know what? I've gotten. I used to have a refrigerator full of these things.
Of course, yeah. People give them to you.
Yeah, and I don't. I don't get upset when I get them, or I think it's the worst gift because I think they're trying to think of something that maybe I enjoy, or they want to try and.
It's not on them. Let's be kind. Yeah. Let's be kind to your friends that have given you these. It's not on them.
Yeah.
But the people that make those, I mean, really, do you want a stone in your drink? You're trying to get the last bit and it chips on and cracks your tooth? I did
try it one time. I had there's also metal ones. There's like all different varieties of them. And I had one hit my big tooth. Right. And it wasn't good. But it didn't, I don't even really know what it did. It didn't like chill the whiskey or do anything for me. So, yeah, on a scale, like, it's the thought that counts, but yeah, they are shitty gifts.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to be clear. I'm not making fun of the people that buy them for us because they're trying to think of something unique for us. So we're tough to buy for. It also leads us to the discussion of what does Nate look like? A lot of you probably haven't seen him. Of course, he's only got one big tooth in the front of his mouth. So that whiskey stone hit that thing. And that's pretty dangerous. If he loses that thing, he's off the corn on the cob, no doubt. So. Like I said, it hit my one big tooth. It was funny. I don't know.
I mean, but actually, if you've seen me, you know I have two big fucking teeth. The reality is that
I interviewed you on YouTube. So yeah, that was a great interview, by the way. Very, very many people like to watch that one. That's good. So I ran into Nate at the Bourbon Festival in his natural element. Jim, what do you think of the whiskey stones?
So I don't think it's a horrible gift. My issue with it is how many times I receive the same gift. So I do occasionally, I don't use it in my whiskey per se, but I use it in my cocktails. Like I'll make a Manhattan over ice, shake it, and then I pour it over whiskey stone so it doesn't get diluted any further. So I'll do that quite often. Occasionally in the summertime I'll put a whiskey stone in, but I probably had 10 people getting whiskey stones over the last 3 years. So that's my issue is it's overgiven. They have one set of whiskey stones, that's okay. But that's 8-10 sets of whiskey stones. No. Yeah,
we're gonna have to talk to Scott because you and I, as we look to open a liquor store, my vote is against the whiskey stones carrying them. I don't care if we make money off it or not. I hate them that much. You like them? We got a split vote. We're gonna have to go to Scott for the tiebreaker here to decide whether or not we carry whiskey stones. So if we do, it's on Scott. We know who.
How about the money, Steve? Let's make the money.
All right, Danny, what do you think? Whiskey stones? Okay. You like those things?
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I'm about to aggravate you again. But in my honest opinion, at first I thought that I tried ice in my whiskey and everything else or my bourbon, but and then I thought it needed to be cold and everything else. But then once I started listening to somebody like Gary from Woodhat, that whiskey was actually made to be drink warm, and he was explaining the proper way to hold your Glencairn so that your hand warmed up the whiskey and everything. I mean, it was educational on that part. And then, I've run away from the whiskey stones. I've had the metal ones. I've had the little small cube ones. I've had the bigger things. Yeah.
So you like them, but you don't use them now because Gary told you not to.
Well, I mean,
to summarize, that's correct, right?
Huh?
To summarize, that's what you're saying, right? Yeah.
No.
So you're a sheep.
No. I'm excited. No, I'm not saying I'm a sheep.
I'm glad Gary didn't tell you to jump off a cliff because you would have done it.
No, I actually see what Gary was trying to tell me because, I mean, plain and simple, I mean, once you start chilling down that whiskey and everything else, you start chilling the natural oils in it and everything else. So, in my opinion, I mean, to get the most flavor out of everything, you want your whiskey warm. Right.
So it sounds like you don't like the stones, but you are saying you like them.
No, I don't anymore.
I'm just happy
at first, that's what I thought I wanted, but I would say no against them.
Okay, all right. So Danny, at the end of the day, Danny's a no on these things. He's not a Whiskey Stones fan. Becca, you and I have talked about this.
Freddie Mills approves.
Steve,
one time we had people throwing a bunch of money at us to just use them, and I couldn't do it. And I was like, Becca, do review these whiskey stones. She's like, I'm not doing that. We couldn't even have people take money to do it. It was so bad.
Steve, I'm about to just piss you off again.
Okay.
I actually put my whiskey stones in the microwave and I heat them up and I add them to my bourbon because it just enhances the flavor a lot more. They say that lukewarm bourbon is actually better for your palate.
So how long do you actually microwave them for?
You nuke them for 20 seconds. That's it.
Okay.
It warms them up real nice.
Only the metal ones.
The metal ones are the best.
The metal ones.
Only the metal ones.
Yeah. No, not the metal ones. They'll blow up your microwave. I'm not that much of a Freddie Mills yet.
I also make sure to leave my bottle. I leave it out in the sun on a nice warm day all day long.
Oh, good.
But it also it's already warmed up. We call that it's kind of
I don't like that
stone, but it's just the sun.
It's like a sun tea. I get it.
I've had it happen before where bottle's been sitting in the sun and you pop it and you put it in the bottle. It's no good. I don't like bourbon when it's hot like that. Ugh.
You know what I like to do? I like to shake my bourbon. I shake the shit out of it before I drink it. It usually makes it taste better.
Yes.
I like mine stirred personally, but that's just neither here nor there, I guess.
Yes. I like to run mine through 8 coffee filters to take out any of the flavor that's left in there. So that's what
You're
I do.
Coffee chill filter guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, but y'all are starting to sound like the assholes I see it on the internet.
No, Danny, we are the assholes. You think.
we are the internet, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Becca with her.
Danny needs a magic flask. You got any of those left, Steve?
Yeah, I'll get a magic flask. Yeah, we'll have to try that out again, Danny. Yeah.
You're starting to sound grasping.
There you go. So for Christmas, if anybody's buying for Danny, get him some whiskey stones. And he also likes the non-alcoholic bourbon too. If you get him
fuck off.
Danny.
We had Danny drink some of that one time at a party, and he was not.
If you get him from Texas A&M logoed whiskey stones too, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Jim.
Or Oklahoma. He wants
Oklahoma.
Fuck off, Steve.
Royce in the back.
Freddie Mills approves of all.
Good job, Danny. Stick up for yourself.
There you go. All right. Well, this was a hell of a show. So I think it was mixed on the whiskey stones. It doesn't sound like anybody liked them, but they gave reasons why they did or used
really
to.
necessarily not like them either.
Can we talk about shot glasses though? Because that's a whole other thing, man. I really appreciate when someone gives me a shot glass with a funny saying or a bullet in it or some other fucking thing like that. Trinket.
I mean,
those are awesome.
Second.
Oh, good. Danny's got a collection. I can't wait.
Danny's got something he wants to show us.
Royce got one that has a set of knockers on the shot glass.
Uh-huh.
He got that from Uncle Bones.
Uncle Bones, of course. Makes sense.
And so if you do take a shot at our house, you have to have it knockers towards your mouth to take the shot.
Uncle Bones. It's perfect.
You got to motorboat that shot.
Yeah. There's no doubt. Yeah. And his will, that goes to Royce when he passes. All right. Danny's got his penis pump, apparently. Danny, what are you showing us here? Is that a penis pump or what do you got there?
No, this is a shot glass. I mean, it's
big.
got different sayings on it and everything else. I mean,
I see that.
This has Mondays, rainy days, unemployed, midterms, mother-in-law.
Oh, mother-in-law's coming by. That's how full you want to fill that shot glass.
So, Danny, you do realize this is a podcast. It's not video, right?
Right.
I were describing it.
Keep going, Danny. I'm enjoying it.
Nate's tuned in right now.
The top lines are. What are the top lines, Danny?
Cash Crunch.
Okay, Cash Crunch. Okay.
And then for Becca Sue, it's a bad hair day.
Bad hair day. So you have it all the way full. If it's a bad hair day.
That's the biggest shot that you take is because you have a bad hair day.
Bad hair day.
Nate, than it is for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
something special. Got that for you. I can tell, Danny. Well done.
That's nice. That's a nice item. Yeah.
Why is midterms? That was like the middle one. Like, I mean, I know that midterms are probably pertaining to college, but also only like half of college kids are old enough to drink.
Well, they all drink though, but yes, and most of them do drink out of shot glasses. I'll say that's when you're your shot glass years when you're in college, right? I mean, that's what we had. What's what we drink out of?
Right.
Shot glasses. But see, not that kind that Danny has, but regular traditional shot glasses.
But this one's called the Texas Bullseye. So I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, I mean, plain and simple. If you're actually taking a shot, then you want to fill it to the top and just keep on.
Hey, I don't believe it. I don't believe you that you use that first shot. Will you fill that up to the top and take one for us, Danny, please?
Yes, Danny. You're having a bad hair day, Danny.
Your hair looks like crap, Danny.
Yeah, that's right. Go for it, Danny. Let's see.
Danny's having a bad hair day. Let's see what he's got here. Here we go.
Dan, take your hat off when you do this so we know that it's for real.
All right. Let's see what the hair is looking like. Here we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a bad hair day.
Jesus.
It's askew.
No, Danny had hair.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Danny.
Oh my God. Dude, you're the man, Danny.
Danny.
Holy shit.
Holy cow.
Somebody's calling into work tomorrow.
Danny, what tea, baby? What did you what was that you just drank there, by the way? What was
Bourbon County?
Bourbon County. Okay. There you go.
I think that's double oaked. 96 proof, I bet, on that one.
No. Yeah. Yes, it was 96.
Yeah, 96 proof. Yeah, that's what that should be.
It's the last show, right? Oh, God.
No, we got another one.
Oh, God, you're going to get Freddie Mills the next show.
Yeah. All
I
right.
guarantee you that.
All right. We're going to actually, we got two more. We got to redo the one that we screwed up on earlier.
Okay.
And then we'll do them. All right. We'll wrap this one
figure it
up
out.
as by talking about where people can find us. Danny, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Danny Kennard on Facebook.
Passed out on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Nate, how about you?
You can find me.
Just laughing.
You can find me at 5280 Whiskey on Instagram.
All right. Jim.
You can find me at Jim Fawzon on Facebook or on Instagram at FawzJim, FAZZJIM.
All right. Miss Becca Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Becca Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. My book is out there right on the main page. We've got our shop out there if you want to buy a t-shirt or something like that. And so much more, abvnetwork.com. We've lost Danny. abvnetwork.com. Miss Becca Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here? Danny? Danny gone.
No, Danny's back.
Oh, all right. We're going to have to call the ambulance.
Yeah. Luckily, Misty's there, and she's a nurse, so he's in good hands.
We're good.
She's on the other side of the screen.
You're good.
I just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. 4-inch. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Mayor being out with you, Danny. I don't know how he's going to do. He may have to rush to the hospital to have his stomach pumped. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
She's over there laughing her ass off. Bye.
Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the Hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's upcoming Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.